Yesterday, if you were hanging around the internet, you probably saw a few happy birthdays to the iPhone. It's actually been a decade. And it's hard to believe that it was 10 years ago that the very first iPhone was launched. However, it's also very hard not to acknowledge all of the change that has followed with the launch of the iPhone. I often give attribution to the age of the mobile workforce completely changing the day the first CEO walked into their CIO's office, slapped the iPhone, or this iPhone, or whichever iPhone, down on their CIO's desk or their IT director's desk and said, "I want to use this." I said that was the day that mobility changed forever, and that was the day that BlackBerry's RIP was written on its tombstone. Having said that, 10 years later, we're in an era of new disruption and new innovation. And there are many people out there that have said that since the iPhone 5 or 6, that the innovation, the change, the disruption within the mobility space hasn't been that much. Slightly faster processors, larger screen, smaller screen, thinner bezel, wider bezel, a little higher resolution, a little bit lower resolution. But overall, mobile devices have sort of hit a standstill, where now what they are capable of is pretty hard to differentiate between the iPhone, the Samsung, the Huawei's, and even the Google devices. I would throw Amazon in there, but of course Amazon didn't survive their attempt to get into the mobile space. But the real question is, what's next for mobility? And heading into the future and just coming back from CES 2017, I think we have a couple big questions to ask. One, will mobile devices look and feel like they look today in just a few years from now? Again, 10 years ago when that iPhone first launched, we wondered where would we be in 10 years? And here we are, larger format, bigger display, faster processors, but really a very similar look and feel, which is good from a user experience standpoint, but in terms of disruption, it's questionable. Now we have augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. Will the device still be something we put in our pocket? Will it still be something we carry around? Will it become something that's embedded? Will soon we have a pair of mixed reality glasses? Or will we have something that we wear around our wrist that's much more comprehensive than the Apple Watch? What do you think is going to come next? And for me, I believe wearable is the next key. I believe that we are going to be wearing this technology, not in the way we use wearables today, but we will have some sort of contact lens, eyeglass. I'm sure you've seen some of the bendables type of technology that we can display and wear around our wrists and whatnot that have the full functionality and features of our phone, but it's much more embedded in our lives. We will have a way to wear these devices. We will have a way to use these mixed reality glasses, to use them for certain VR and AR applications. We will be tied much more closely into the artificial intelligence that these devices entail, and we will see that in time the device actually may become smaller as our need to use it to look into the device, to interact with the device becomes less, and our constant stream of data through the wearable, through the sensors within the new devices come into play. So while 10 years has meant great, but maybe not overwhelming disruption for the iPhone and the entire mobility industry, I think the next 5 years are going to prove to be an even greater disruption. Now, the last question though is, who's going to lead that disruption? Right now, Apple has just started to dip their toe in the water publicly of talking about their strategies in AI and AR and VR, whereas companies like Google and Facebook and Samsung have really been leading the way in augmented reality, virtual reality. So do you think Apple is going to be the great disruptor? Are they going to disrupt what they've done all these years with the tablets and the phones and the computers? Or are they going to fall behind in this next race? And I think that's a really great question. I think there's a great chance that Apple will not be the disruptor that breaks the next trend in mobility forward. However, who will that be? I've got my suspicions. I think Facebook is always one that you can't hold out of the race. I think Google, I think their mobile device is an entry point for them. However, they haven't quite proven anything, and it seems that their sales have taken off slowly. And another one that I'm finding to be more and more interesting with each passing day has been Microsoft. They seem to quietly be innovating, quietly be grabbing market share back. So they have a strong play into the next wave of mobility. I've seen what HP is doing with their X3 Elite, which is a handheld computing, but it isn't fully engaged in what people are commonly using today for mobility and for their phone. So that could be a little bit of an outsider, but I'm still watching what they're doing. So there are a number of potential players that could get into this next race for winning the disruption in mobility. However, I just have this feeling that in 10 years, it may not be Apple. But I'm putting that back out at everybody that's watching this and that's engaging with this content. What do you think is going to be the next big disruption? AR, VR, IoT? Is it going to be some sort of mixed reality? Will we have these devices? iPhone 7, iPhone 4, I've got a 6 Plus that I'm using. Will it be one of these? Will it be something else? And if you think it's going to be something else, what will it be? Anyhow, want to thank Apple and all the great things you guys have done over the last 10 years. We love how you've changed our lives. We love how you've connected us to the world, and we love what's possible, but we are still wondering what's in the future. And will you guys be the ones that take us there, or is it going to be someone else?